Corissa, a species that had adapted to blend perfectly with its surrounding. An excellent trait for any predator that has the patience of death and the prowling of a storm. A mere glance in the vast sea of sands and its little thriving ecosystem will not reveal the tenacious being that might just well be right behind you. This disturbing entity of thorns, claws and fangs lingers silently with the whispers of the wind. You won't ever see it coming.
Okay. And in my personal opinion, I think this thing is just really ugly. I don't like the way it looks. It looks more like a kind of like a Monster Hunter creature, or even like a OC, as most people say. It looks kind of like a bulldog too. Its horns also look like scoots, like on an alligator or a crocodile. They don't feel like spikes. And one of my friends even explained that it literally looks like fur. It's okay. I think the colors that they used for the green, I think it's fine, I guess. Some of the patterns look like a watermelon, and also this thing looks like a dragon fruit. It doesn't do any honor to the old design. The old design feels nice. It feels, like someone's creature. It feels like a creature that was there for a while. Looks like a cactus. The redesign does not look like a cactus. It looks more like a almost desert flower more than cactus. I don't know how to explain it. It looks more just weird. I feel like its colors don't contrast very well either. If you look at its colors, it feels almost too bright on the creature and it feels very overpowering. And the texture that they use too, it's also really ugly. Almost looks wet, looks gross, like almost flesh-like. And for it to look flesh-like is kind of off-putting and really gross to me. I think this redesign honestly sucks, and it's one of the worst I've seen in a while. And some of the redesigns are really good, but this one is not the best. It looks like a watermelon dragon Monster Hunter Chainsaw Man. Its face looks almost human-like. Its teeth have no entire purpose either. It has no teeth in its mouth. It's more of a show creature. Its design is supposed to carry its weight. And its arms also feel too fat. And it literally runs like a damn bulldog too. It's just probably one of the most ugly redesigns I've seen in a while. Just not my cup of tea, I guess.
Usually, some redesigns transform an old creature into an entirely different one. However, this redesign goes on the line between the originality or loyalty to the original design and looking like a different creature. What I like about this redesign is that its Cory looks more feral and menacing in appearance. It's got a lot of spikes because it's a cactus obviously, but the spikes are really stylized. The addition of orange colors to its palette looks refreshing, but somewhat surreal. I assume that there's a real-life species of cactus that have orange colors or flowers. And lastly, I really like the gender dimorphisms of the redesign. The female still has the flowers on it and has similar horns and tail just like the original Koryser. I like the orange cacti protrusions on the back of the male dimorphism, but the horns on the head remind me of Fire Nearly too much. Now, what I kind of don't like about this redesign is that it's very cluttered, and overall the body shape looks very disproportional as well. The lack of simplicity on most parts doesn't bring emphasis to any part of the body, just like Ryuk's. Well, it is a cactus after all, so it's going to have a lot of spikes, but the thorn things or spikes on the body, they look a little too big, even though, like I said earlier, they're very stylized. The whole body shape makes Cory look like an inflated balloon animal rather than a bulky creature. Especially look at its arms, saying that front arms are also very disproportional. Like, where are the elbow joints of this thing? All I see is the shoulder and the forearms and no limb in between. I think it's called the humerus. That's the limb that Cory is lacking. So in the 3D model, the upper arms look ridiculously tiny then. However, this new Koryser is decent in terms of concept, but the anatomy is executed poorly, even though it's a cactus, like I said earlier. But I do see why many people don't like this redesign. Regardless, the anatomy should have been improved.
I'll start with what I like about this redesign. First, I really like the idea of like such big gender dimorphism. It's pretty rare to have such difference, especially like the males look a lot more massive than the females. But that's something I like about this design. Though I really do not like the sort of spikes on the male's shoulders. I think they really do look bad or kind of out of place. Not really cactus-like. Also the male's horns. They look like prickly peas, but they actually are like very very close to that of females, like someone else pointed out. That's not good, obviously, like when you have a creature that looks so much like another. For the female, I prefer the female design. I like the flowers on the shoulders that look like cactus flowers, but that's not something from the redesign, that's something that was already in the base design. I understand the idea behind the swollen arms. They look like a short, round cactus that just are very cute. I love cute. They don't look good. These big swollen arms, they just look awkward. Like you don't know what the elbows are, like where they start, where they end. On the model, it's more confusing because the articulation is so high. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't look right, especially when in the wall animations and the aggro. About the color palettes, I think it's not a bad color palette. It looks really good, but it's a bit too fiery, honestly. A bit too fiery. I think they should have went for more pinkish, purplish color palettes. Like what I said, the prickly peas, like they have these red pink fruits that are present on the original concept art, but not on the model of the old Corissa. Yeah, so I'm a bit sad that they left out the pretty pea appearance, but okay. I like this design, I just don't like the male as much as the female. I really prefer playing the female because she just looks a lot better than male. Shorter horns, the short tail, everything looks right. I feel like the female was designed first and then the male was made. Maybe it wasn't the case, but well, I feel like that. I like the redesign, but I think it could have been better. Maybe a bit pinker.
It looks like if the original Koryser, Firanilli, Kethrol, and Torolystris all had a baby together. I'm thinking it looks like Firanilli because Creatures of Sonaria is trying to make the creatures all connected evolutionary-wise. It's an improvement from the old Koryser though. The old one was really outdated. I don't know why people hate it so much.
For the remodel of the Koryser,
made by the concept creator making Macarini. If I am being honest with the Koryser, it was always a terrifying specimen due to being a pit bull. Maybe it's because I hate them. Maybe it's because they're fierce. I like the old model because it was simplistic, yet it was quite of a threat when you see it in confrontation of it. Though this remodel has, I don't know, over-bloated it. It kind of looks like a party balloon animal, if I may do so say myself. The hind arms, legs, whatever you like to call them, are very, very bloated. And it just looks like if it's like suffering through just even walking. The back legs were okay being like that, though I don't understand for the hind legs. The hind legs is just the only problem with this Koryser remodel. The male and female dimorphism is really good. I like the roses and on one of them, and then the other one's like more bulky and spiky. The orange does live off a little pop in it, so like it's not just plain old green like the last time from the old model. If I have to rate it, the rating for me is a 7 out of 10. The only problem was just for the hind legs. If they were just a little bit less bloated, I think this thing would have been almost perfect for a remodel. So now I have to see it from an aggressive cactus pit bull to the next party animal balloon I'm gonna see in a birthday party.
Koryser Redesign? I don't really hate it, you know. I could even say I enjoy it. It made the creature not look so bland anymore, like, it made it look a lot more interesting and colorful, like kind of giving new life to it. The old design wasn't so bad, it was really, really unique, I know, but the redesign kind of added like a little spark to it that I know and enjoy. The design is just good. I mean, some people could disagree, but for me, it just looks really nice and pleasing. And it also added new colors to the creature, so yeah.
I think it looks too colorful. The spikes don't even look fat when it's supposed to be a cactus. Also, the Papa is looking, so I kind of like them, but they're a bit too bit exaggerated. And the tail and like those things on each product look like, like really detailed. Also, those things on each shoulders look so out of place. And the tail could be longer also, the principal is body better. That's all I have to say.
Oh well, the Koryser Redesign. I do not really like it. I can't really enjoy it. I don't think it's because of how the redesign is made, but probably because of how Koryser is. I just didn't like the original design. But I can see why someone would like it. The spikes are now more diverse. They can be both spikes, horns, teeth, claws, and tails, and armor plates, or whatever you want to call them. I just love how diverse they are. Next, the bulbous horns and front limbs. They could represent fruits of the cacti, or perhaps how cacti store water, you know, that kind of thing. I also like the orange burst of color, because the original Koryser had only green, then just like a pale green, white, yellow, and gray. That's it. But now, there's much more colors. There's this savanna-like green, which I do really like because it's like a cacti. And there's orange, and it's like tints of orange, which probably represents the fruits of cacti, like dragon fruit. I saw some that were yellow and red. This design just shows it all how this the cactus creature, the rolling cactus. I didn't like it, but because it's a Koryser. But I like the change. I like the changes.
Oh boy, where do I even start with the Koryser Redesign? I'm not happy with it at all. I am not happy with it, okay? I used to main Koryser back before the Sonaria was like that popular, when it was like still in beta and it was like just kind of a new game. Needless to say, I don't like how it looks at all. I don't like it. I like the model of it, but the art, no. No, mm-mm. I originally saw the one that Prince Manticore did, and it looked amazing. You know, I was like, you need to add that one. I follow him on Instagram, and he did a good couple redesigns of it, and they all looked amazing. But the one that they chose looks just it seems like there was like with the new redesigns they cheapify it. They make it have big big fat upper arms and a big fat upper torso, but then like tiny little legs in the back. I don't like it one bit. And it's just no, this isn't my Koryser, and it's not my Koryser. It doesn't make this no. No.
Koryser's too much like Felony now. It doesn't look like much of a cactus anymore. It looks more like a pepper now, and it doesn't blend in with the territory that it used to do normally. It didn't blend in, and now it just doesn't blend in with the desert or mesa at all. They should have just picked one of the other designs, in my opinion. It's not my favorite redesign, and I don't think it should be, they should have just changed it up a little. Made it more of a, like a cactus instead of a pepper. It's got the detail and stuff, it just doesn't have the right color scheme, and they should have added something like the desert flowers of a cactus or something. It just doesn't look right.
To me, the Koryser's redesign is honestly alright, surprisingly. But I have a bit of a problem with its front legs because they're like way too thick. And its hind legs, it's alright. It's actually honestly impressive. The devs haven't made it thin as fuck. And yeah, I honestly, overall, I think the Koryser's design is alright considering the creatures of Sonaria's reputation for fucking things up. And yeah, that's all.